Chaos in the Commons, Rayner, disability cuts, and the scandal that shook Westminster. Imagine the most dramatic moment in your favorite courtroom thriller, when the defense is sweating, the prosecution is relentless, and the judge's gavel can barely keep order. Now, take that image and crank the volume to 11. That's the only way to describe what happened in the House of Commons today, a political drama so intense you couldn't script it if you tried. Today, the government revealed its controversial plans to cut personal independence payments, PIP, and carers allowance, a move that instantly sent ripples of fear and uncertainty through millions of households across the UK. For 1.3 million disabled people and their carers, according to a Liberal Democrat analysis of official government data, this wasn't just politics. It was personal. One constituent described the prospect as terrifying. And as the Commons erupted, the stakes couldn't have been higher. The Deputy Prime Minister, Rayner, took to the dispatch box to defend the government's new welfare reform agenda. She tried to project confidence, hammering home Labour's commitment to both fairness and social justice, and promising that those who could work would get support to do so, while those who could never work would be protected. But behind the platitudes, the reality is far more complicated. Rayner acknowledged the deep anxieties felt by disabled people and carers, even referencing her own personal experience with the system. She insisted the reforms would put Labour's values into place, making the welfare state more responsive and effective. Yet for many watching, the words rang hollow. After all, it was Labour who built the welfare state after World War II. Now, the party was poised to preside over its most significant overhaul in decades, one that could leave the most vulnerable facing even greater hardship. If you thought the debate over welfare was explosive, you hadn't seen anything yet. In one of Parliament's most jaw-dropping moments in recent memory, Rayner found herself in the crosshairs over Labour's handling of the grooming gang scandal. The issue had haunted Westminster for years. Children as young as 10, systematically abused by gangs, repeatedly failed by authorities. And yet, according to critics, Labour had dithered, launching endless reviews and consultations but resisting a full national inquiry. That all changed today. A backbench MP, a political nobody with nothing to lose, finally asked the question everyone else seemed too afraid to ask. Why are you protecting these gangs instead of protecting our children? What followed was parliamentary carnage. Rayner, usually the very picture of composure, was suddenly at sea. She stuttered and stumbled, her answers a muddle of half-remembered talking points and deflections. The chamber, never shy about voicing its opinions, erupted. MPs shouted, gestured, and jeered, the noise swelling to a crescendo that threatened to drown out reason itself. Even the Speaker, tasked with restoring order, struggled to be heard over the din. For Rayner, it was a nightmare. The woman who once branded Conservative MPs as scum now found herself unable to articulate a coherent defense of her own party's record on one of the most sensitive issues facing the country. It was a performance that had even her own supporters wincing with embarrassment. It would be easy to dismiss a day's Commons chaos as just another day of political theatre, a viral clip, a meme in the making. But underneath the spectacle lies a far more serious issue, the government's priorities, and the lives that hang in the balance. Labour's response to the grooming gang scandal has been to play politics, accusing critics of jumping on a far-right bandwagon, stalling for time with reviews and consultations, and only acting under intense public pressure. Meanwhile, their welfare reforms risk pushing hundreds of thousands of disabled people and carers into poverty. This isn't just a story about party politics. It's about a government losing touch with the people it claims to serve. It's about a parliament more interested in point-scoring than problem-solving, more focused on winning the news cycle than protecting the vulnerable. As the dust settles on one of the most chaotic sessions in recent memory, the questions for Labour, and for the country, are urgent and unavoidable. Will the government listen to the voices of disabled people and carers who fear for their future? Will it finally put the needs of victims ahead of political calculation? Or will today's drama be just another episode in the endless soap opera of Westminster, forgotten when the cameras stop rolling? One thing is certain, the events of today are not easily forgotten. Rayner may have survived her grilling, but the damage is done. The government's credibility is in tatters, and the public's trust is hanging by a thread. So, are you satisfied with Labour's handling of these scandals? Or is it time for some serious accountability in British politics? The commons may have descended into chaos, but the real verdict lies with you, the people. And as history has shown, in the world of politics, today's hero is often tomorrow's meme. Join the debate below, because when it comes to the future of our country, silence is not an option.